Like with our roti, we were eating gold. Yeah, I swear. And there were diamonds everywhere. I think the
Hung out
moment
with
where
Rihanna.
I saw Radhika and Anant signing their Hastakshar papers and like looking at each other with just a lot of love. Because my father would tell them, at least she's getting the grades. And I used to be like, see? And my mom used to be like, that's not what matters. The person you are matters. And also, this is very different. But in a dating scene, no.
No?
No. But there were some friends of mine, I think, in college, that like when I told them.
You know, you mentioned you have Murder Mubarak coming up. You, of course, have Watan coming up. And that you mentioned you entered the Dhirubhai Ambani school, you know. And that leads me to the next question because, you know, you could be in these movies, but you were in the ensemble cast of the most watched movie in the history of screen, which was the Ambani pre-wedding in Jamnagar. Okay? I mean, really, like, what was that? We have, 30 minutes left in this interview? Or
Let's
maybe
only
40,
talk about that.
and that's all we're going to talk about.
Okay. So I'll tell you, there were these salvers and they would serve gold.
What do you mean? Say that
We
again?
could be, like with our roti, we were eating gold. Yeah, I swear. And there were diamonds everywhere. What do you mean? Yeah, it was a very nice, lovely, warm, hospitable event.
I was just going to ask you what gold tastes like.
I've gone to school with Anant. I've known Radhika growing up. It was very warm. I think that the entire Ambani family, Neeta ma'am, who's been my chairperson of the Dhirubhai Ambani school, you know, they're so warm.
Like, what's your favorite?
So welcoming.
What's your favorite memory from that party? Like that you would tell friends when you got back, like, hey man, I did this. It could be anything, like, you know.
I think the
hung
moment
out with
where
Rihanna.
I saw Radhika and Anant signing their Hastakshar papers and like looking at each other with just a lot of love. I think that everybody kind of looks at them as like, oh my god, the Ambani family, oh wow, gold. But like to me,
only you were saying gold. I never even thought
just
somebody
everybody's
serving
asking
gold
me
for
this
food.
question. It's just like I think
no,
that's
I
what
just
you want me to say.
No, it's not. I'm giving goss. I just want you to tell me how fun it was.
It was
to
a
be
lot
at
of fun. But
was possibly the most consumed party. Like everyone felt like they were in Jamnagar.
no, it was definitely a lot of fun, which is why I'm telling you about this specific moment because it was the more human moment of it. You know, everybody looked at it like externally, like, oh my god, let's review what everybody's wearing. Every actor's here, oh my god, everyone's performing, oh wow, yay. But there were those real moments, like when Neeta ma'am did a Bharatnatyam performance for Anant, where she didn't miss a single beat and she just performed with so much grace. But there was also Mamta in her eyes during the performance, you know. It's moments like that that stood out to me. Personally.
No, but I'm looking for like more fun stories in terms of.
What do you mean?
Let me explain.
I mentioned the gold, I mentioned
let me explain. So like, where were you staying?
I was staying at a place called Green Retreat, a very nice.
Is that a hotel in the Jamnagar campus?
Yes.
Okay. So I've heard that there was this meat packers district created next to the hotel, you know, with restaurants and casinos. Was that where it was?
I take my promotions very seriously.
No, this is a conversation with you.
No, I don't mind, we can converse. But what we have to do when we converse is look good.
Yeah.
And when you have to look good, you have to not go to meat packing districts.
Okay.
You can't eat all this. But there was a Subco coffee there. So I was having a lot of the coffee because I had to maintain my weight.
But did that district remind you of New York when you were there?
No, because I used to eat back in New York. Remember?
Okay.
The whole eating and gaining weight and wanting to become a lawyer at Columbia. So yes, there was more food consumption there. So the memories were kind of distinct.
No, in terms of the look of that neighborhood, like, did they really manage to recreate Manhattan or the Meatpackers district?
The look, yes.
The look, yes. Because I'm using this as a segue to get into your life in New York.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to spend my whole conversation with you on the Ambani wedding.
I didn't
I hope you didn't think so.
I didn't.
How is Bombay different from New York?
It's similar in the way that there is a pulsating energy of aspiration in every alley almost. I think everybody in Bombay, most people in Bombay and New York have a desire to do. Which is something that like it's just energetically felt, I think. How is it different? Even if your single mother tries to keep you away from the public eye and you are aware that, oh, why are they photographing me, you're still recognized. I mean, you can't help it. That wasn't there in New York at all.
Right.
I really valued that time in my life because I spent my most formative years incognito, if I may say so. And that was really lovely without, like, just being truly seen for who
Liberating?
I am. Liberating. And also, like, you know, we can get into this syndrome of, is he talking to me or is she talking to me because of who my mom is?
Right.
Or because of who I am? So the friends that I made in New York, the memories that I have in New York are not tainted with any of that. fully, I was what I was. There wasn't even, oh, did I like come first in my history class because my teacher loved Omkara? You know,
Has that happened to you?
I don't know, right? Like, how do you know?
You start second guessing.
Yeah, you can.
Maybe the teacher's a fan of.
You
Seth.
never know.
Yeah.
Like my English teacher definitely really liked my father.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm sure all your
I used
teachers
to love
had a crush
bringing
on
him
Seth.
to I used to love bringing him to parent-teacher meetings because I was always very smart and always very badly behaved. And my father's the kind of person that used to be like, yeah, at least she's getting the grades. And my mother used to be like, I don't want her grades. I want her to be a well-behaved person. So I used to be like, okay, mom, cancel. Like, she should not be coming to these, parent-teacher meetings.
No
We
chance.
should just show her the grades and be like, yeah, they really like me. And my father can just, because my father would tell them, at least she's getting the grades. And I used to be like, see? And my mom used to be like, that's not what matters. The person you are matters. And also, this is very different. But,
I loved how you played it though. So for a PTA meeting, you take Seth along.
Always.
The teacher's like, oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing. And oh, wow, nice to see.
She's forgotten what she had to say anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to be like, this is amazing. This is great. I have to take him everywhere. But yeah, so none of that was there in New York. So I think that there was, and it was also like, I mean, my father got me an apartment. So I lived on campus for 2 years. And it's a 4-year course. But because I was so smart, can be. Because of the smartness involved, I finished in 3 years. So I told my father, with the smartness intact, that listen, आपका 1 साल का घाटा कम हो रहा है क्योंकि आपको 3 साल का पैसा भरना है तो आप क्या करो ना मुझे एक अपार्टमेंट दिला दो रेंट पे. So he said okay. So I had my like own apartment, my own like Wi-Fi bill that I would pay. I would have my own like bhandas. I would try to do my own things. So there was a lot of independence and a lot of like. It was my space.
Right.
I liked that.
I'm just imagining you in New York, in that space. And let's say you're in the dating scene, right? And you go to meet someone in New York. And during the conversation, just tell that person who doesn't know you from Adam, right? No clue, I'm assuming non-Indian. That, my dad is this big movie star. My mom was this big movie star. I mean, Seth is still one of the top movie stars in India, even now. Or you get into the whole royalty and stuff. Their jaws would drop, na? Ki, is she like, of course, you can Google these things now. See, but did you ever have that moment?
Not in a dating scene, no.
No?
No. But there were some friends of mine, I think, in college, that like when I told them.
They didn't believe you first.
No, they didn't. They really didn't. Also because I was like, like there was no resemblance to any parent or anything. There was only resemblance to like.
There's Nawabi.
But I mean, like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, so no, they were quite surprised actually.
And then what?
That's it.
I mean, they just Googled it, okay, whatever.
Yeah, then
she's
it dies
royalty.
down. I think
I know a lot of Indian men who use this little thing. I mean, now of course you can't because you can Google, but they'd say everyone is say they're from some royal family. And it really worked for them as an opening line. Exactly.
हो भी सकते हैं.
हो भी सकते नहीं वो तो बनाते they used to make it up, and it worked for them.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.